Hey, Macedonia friends and family. Lead Minister Brandon Bogue here with this week's Midweek Moment. Coming to you from my garage because I've been stuck at home all day because they've been installing my air conditioning unit. But I finally got working air in my house. Yay! Nobody's happier about that than me, except for maybe my wife. But because this is coming to you from my garage and I've not been able to go to the office to be able to edit this video, this is going to be kind of the rough cut. So please be gentle, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. One of my favorite movie tropes that you see in a lot of different movies, in fact, it's in almost all of my favorite movies, is what's called the wise old mentor trope. This is somebody who has seen it all, who's done it all, who's been a part of it. They seem to be unfazed and unmoved by whatever the action is that's going on around them. Some examples of this might be like Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid, Yoda from pretty much every Star Wars that he's in, Sean Connery in almost everything he made past 1984. These are guys who just know what to do, and they're trying to teach the hero of the story whether or not that hero is listening, because oftentimes the hero, well, they're reflective of us. They're impatient. They're impulsive. They want to get action. They want to get moving. But it's not usually until the story needs it to happen that they recall what that wise old sage had to say. But if you notice something about these particular characters, these guys tend to be very calm, almost to the point of passivity. They're just kind of at peace with everything that's going on around them. They're not worried. They're not fazed by what's happening in the world that's going on around them. This speaks to a correlation that we know of that exists between wisdom and gentleness. This is a correlation that James himself was very familiar with. And in fact, he encouraged those who were wise, those who had wisdom, to give that wisdom with the approach of gentleness. He says in James 3, verse 13, "Who among you is wise and understanding? By his good conduct he should show that his works are done in the gentleness that comes from wisdom." James talked about this correlation that exists between wisdom and a gentleness. That if we truly want to show off wisdom, it comes through that gentleness. This is conversely, James actually speaks to the wisdom, if you will, offered through the world, a wisdom that we still see to this very day, a wisdom that is brought on by envy and selfish ambition. You and I, we might equate this stuff to look out for number one. We might look at this as don't worry about who you have to step over on your way to the top. This is the wisdom of our age that is very self-ambitious, self-driven, and self-looking out for. If we see somebody who has something that we want or is in a position that we'd like to have, we're envious of them, and we use that envy to motivate us. And we equate that in our world as wisdom. But here's what James has to say about it, about that particular style of wisdom in verses 15 and 16. He says, "Such wisdom does not come from above, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where there is envy and selfish ambition, there is disorder and every evil practice." But James continues on in verse 17 to say, "But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peace-loving, gentle, compliant, full of mercy and good fruits, unwavering, without pretense." Gentleness is an undervalued trait in our world today. It is something that we don't really aspire for. It's something we don't really look for. It's something that we're not really interested in being gentle. In fact, we live in a world where it's more about pushing and shoving others out of the way so that you can get what you want. And we think that that is the wise move for us. But true wisdom, the wisdom that we should be chasing after, especially those of us who call upon the name of Jesus, those of us who are Christians, we should be aspiring to the wisdom that comes from above. And that wisdom is first and foremost gentle. So let's chase after that wisdom, regardless as to how long your beard is, because gentleness is something that we need to have. It's a trait that we can't afford to miss. It's one of the first signs of wisdom. This has been your Midweek Moment. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'm going to go sweep my garage.